What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, back with another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about the 1981 film The Burning, which is one of the better slashers from the 1980s. I kind of like to compare this film, well, not compare it, but pair it with movies like Maniac, because they're these movies that went on to have no sequels, even though I know Maniac was supposed to have a sequel, but I believe Joe Spinell died either right before filming or something like that. And I'm pretty sure that he had something to do with the writing of the film, which is also very interesting. Joe Spinell is a very cinematic looking guy to begin with. And before I get on to The Burning, I want to quickly shout out Ebon Press, or Ibon Press, which is a comic book producer, I believe out of California, where they've done a lot of the Fulci comics. They've done Maniac. I think they're going to be doing New York Ripper. They have a few of their own titles, like I forget the name of it, but it was a comic that starred Joe Pilato, who of course was Rhodes in Day of the Dead. So it was like a detective hard-boiled kind of book. I never got any of those, to be honest with you, but in hindsight, I wish I had of. So moving on, we're going to talk about. Oh, and also the Ebon Press did Maniac comics. That's what I was getting at. So, and the Maniac comics are phenomenal. I've only got the first issue, but I've made videos talking about them in the past. Go ahead and check them out on the channel. So last night we did a little bit of a family get together, like the immediate family. So like me, my mom, my brother, my dad, and my girlfriend, and we watched a couple of films. I showed them the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 film. It was a riot. It was so fun to watch it with those guys because, I personally think that movie is dog shit, but there is like a few redeeming qualities. The one that I can think of right off the bat is the wrist stab. That's probably the best part of the film, and then the rest of it is just like cringy teens versus Leatherface Voorhees. You know what I mean? It was like a total Friday the 13th feel I got from some of those kills, but we're not going to go into that. So 1981, The Burning comes out. So this film is a very entertaining film with lots of likable characters, which is something that these modern horror films just cannot get. Like, take a film like the Chainsaw Massacre from 2022, compare those characters to these characters. Almost everyone in this film is likable. Even the asshole Glazer is likable. But anyways, after we watched Chainsaw, we popped in this. It was on Tubi. And I have the Blu-ray, but it was on Tubi, so I said, fuck it, let's just watch it on there. And my God, like, I forgot how much I love this movie. It's all about a camp, it's a camp horror film where, the movie starts off with, like 30 years ago or 20 years ago where this, or no, actually, I think it was 5 years ago, this incident happens where all these campers pull a fast one on the maintenance man of the campgrounds, and he ends up getting burnt very severely and goes to a hospital. And there's a really good scene where like this orderly is like walking or showing this new doctor around the hospital, and he's like, you got to see this guy, he is burnt, and I mean burnt. And like he just has all these, I love that guy. I think he was in I feel like I recognize him from something, but I really like that character. And then he ends up showing the burnt body to the doctor, and like the hand comes out and grabs him. Amazing practical effects by Tom Savini. Tom Savini is all over this film, and it's a really good little opening, little intro to the film. And then our character, the guy that gets burnt, Cropsey, he ends up being discharged from the hospital 5 years later, goes out, immediately pulls a fucking Joe Spinell, and goes to see a prostitute, ends up killing her. And then like the movie really kind of takes off at the campground where we meet all of our characters. Jason Alexander is one of his earlier film roles, maybe even his first role, of course, George Costanza from Seinfeld. A bunch of other recognizable faces. The one dude that has like the BB gun, I forget what his name was, but I've seen him in a lot of films. I like him. I like them all. Even Ratner from Fast Times is in this movie as like this kind of like creepy, cringy guy, sort of like our final girl, even though he's a guy. Really good stuff. the movie's basically all about Cropsey coming back and taking them out one by one, but there's more than that to the film. There's like this bully named Glazer who's an asshole to everyone. Jason Alexander is like the guy that goes and gets you stuff. He's like the Red from Shawshank. He can go get you porno, he can get you condoms, he can get you this, that, booze, dope, whatever it is. And I really like how there's a scene where he comes back to the you know, the little cabin that they're staying at. There's like four of the main guys, like Glazer, Ratner, Costanza, and these two other dudes. And you know, he's like giving the one guy the playboy, the other guy the hustler, and then like it shows him like he says something, then they all kind of like huddle around the magazine. I just, for some reason, just like these little things like that mean so much to me, and like make you love the characters. You know, you don't want to see them die. Like again, the asshole Glazer, the bully guy, I did not want to see him die just because like his delivery was great. I love the way he looks. He's a prick, you know, but he's like a likable asshole in a way. He's got an obsession with these chicks, or this one chick, and you know, there's a lot of that in this movie. There's all like pretty much all the main people have a girl that they're after in one way or another, which I like that. I like that there's not just like one chick and like one guy like being like the main stars of the film. Like everyone's sort of kind of like doing their part to make this movie work, and I think it's really good. So you know, the movie has a lot of standout scenes, and I'm gonna get to some of my favorite kills. I'm not gonna go too far into the plot, but I love the scenery of this film. I think camp horror films that take place at these campgrounds out in the great outdoors, this movie looks so good. Like wherever they shot this film is a beautiful location, lots of great you know, trees everywhere and like big lakes, and it's just, everything looks so good. Like me and Kayla, we were watching, we're like, man, like we cannot wait for the good weather because we got a cabin already booked. Like it's gonna be awesome, and I love the woods, and this movie like made me so stoked for it. So at one point in the film, you got this guy who's like been trying to bang this chick the whole time, and she ends up getting killed. She ends up getting killed, and then everyone thinks that she left and made all the canoes, like, you know, untied them so they all drifted off, and the campers make this makeshift raft, and they go out to try to find go back to the camp basically and find the canoes, whatever the fuck. And there's an amazing scene where they see one of the canoes, and they get closer to it and closer to it, and tensions building, and even like the kid with the BB gun like has like a thing like right before he goes on the boat, he's like, we're about to go on it, like, so like it's so natural and so real feeling to me, even though it's just like an 80s horror film, but it's just put together so good acting, likable characters. That's what you need, you know, like in Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, all those characters you kind of like, even the prick fucking Rod or whatever, you know, the guy that dies in the prison. But anyways, once the kid gets close enough to the canoe to grab it, Cropsey comes up. You know, you get your shot like on the cover here where he's got the gardening shears up, and he just kills everyone on the boat. Like the one girl gets like stabbed in the stomach, the one guy gets like stabbed in the neck, I think, and then the one dude gets his fingers cut off. Another guy's laying on the ground, gets stabbed in the neck. It's one of the best Savini effects that is out there. Like I pair that with the Kevin Bacon scene. It's basically like a reverse Kevin Bacon. So in Friday the 13th, the thing comes from the bottom, and this, it comes from the top. But like the way they set it up is just phenomenal. It looks so good. And then I even love when that raft sort of drifts back to where they were all stranded, and then the reveal of all the bodies on there, and the bodies all look really good. The asshole Glazer, who's like the bully, his death is cool. His death kind of reminds me of a kill in Friday the 13th Part 5, where like I think it's like a belt or something gets tied around the guy's neck and twisted, something like that. Really like that scene. I really like the ending of the film where there's like this chase between Cropsey, Ratner from Fast Times, and then the male counselor guy who is actually a part of the crew that burnt Cropsey all those years ago, and they have their showdown, and it's really cool. So the burning gets like a pretty high rating from me, and again, you could probably pair it. You know, I mean, you could pair it with Maniac, even though there's only like maybe 5% of the film takes place in the city when he's released from the hospital. But you may or may not be able to pair it with Maniac. Personally, I might want to pair it with more of another camp horror film, i.e. Friday the 13th or Sleepaway Camp or something like that. And I've been hard on Sleepaway Camp. I think I need to give that a re-go, because the last time I watched it, I was like, not that big of a fan. I watched 3 of them. There might be more than 3 of them. I don't know. I got 3 of them personally, but pretty sure one of the only kills that I remember from Sleepaway Camp was there's like an asshole cook, and he like spills hot water on himself or boiling oil or something like that. The movie was kind of forgettable for me, other than the ending, obviously. But yeah, this is actually the Scream Factory edition. I don't know who else has put it out, but I got the reverse cover art there. I kind of prefer the redo art on this one personally, just because that one's kind of like it's like a guy necking with a chick. Camp Blackfoot. Yeah, it'll take you further than Fear. So The Burning, really good stuff. Hopefully you guys have seen it. It's on Tubi, so if you haven't seen it, you can check it out that way, or you can go ahead and get the Scream Factory Blu-ray DVD combo pack here. In terms of special features, which I haven't watched, you got audio commentary by director Tony Malum and international journalist Alan Jones. There's Blood and Fire Memories, a theatrical trailer, and more. This movie is also created and produced by Harvey Weinstein, who is loved and hated for different reasons. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for watching the video. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. And with that being said, adios.